Well, I just dug a Privy that was about 9 feet square and 4.5 feet deep. It was basically a dream come true. It had maybe 40 soda bottles in it. They were all 1917 to 1923s, so that was a pretty good age. There was a lot of Pepsis and straight-sided Cokes and Chiro Colas. I had to dig it for 3 days for 5 hours per day because it was such hard work. But unfortunately, about 90% of them were cracked or chipped or bruised or something's wrong with them. Well, I'm sorry I didn't get to show you me actually digging these bottles. The hole was in a very busy place and I didn't want to attract attention by filming myself. Well, I got all the bottles washed up, so let's have a look at the loot. Alright, here's the first one. It's a Coca-Cola. It's quite a rare one. It's got the PC Worley name, which is also the name used in Selma. But this one is from Wilson, North Carolina. It's got the top broken off and several fractures in it. But definitely too rare to throw away. Here's one of the few perfect bottles. And it's from a long ways off. It's the only slug-plated soda I found. It's got little stars on the neck, but it's a machine-made one. Then another one of these Farmville sodas that's broken off and cracked. Here's one from Graham, Virginia. 3C Nectar. Never seen one of them before. But of course it's cracked and the top's broken off. And another Pepsi from Tarboro. And it's the triple script with no top. It's got bruises and cracks in it as well. And another one of these, but this is the Elizabeth City one. Cracked and broken top again. This one's not cracked, but it does have the top missing. That could be repaired. Then I got a Greenville 1915. It's a very pale aqua, but it has a giant crack in it. And a Woodard Brothers from Wilson. It's got some damage, but displays reasonably well. Then we got this one from Farmville again. It's got heavy embossing on this one though. But it has a big crack in the bottom. Here's one that I thought was perfect, but then this crack seems to have developed as it dried. And it's got a big bruise chipped out right there. Still not too bad. One of the best bottles I found. I still might be able to get $75 for it. Then I got this nice blue mint cola. And it's from Greenville, which is a pretty rare town for a mint cola. But it's got some serious damage to it. Then a Cherry Blossoms. It's from Greenville. It's got a few cracks in it. Pretty rare bottle though. And here's one of 3 Coca-Cola bottles. Each one was from a different city. This is the one from Rocky Mount. It's got some rust-filled cracks in it though. But still displays pretty good on this side. And one of the yellow tinted Chiro Colas. No city on this one. It's not too bad a condition. There are a couple cracks on the neck. And one of 3 of the Wilson Pepsi bottles. It's got a couple cracks in it also. And here's a nice Pepsi. It's the ring neck from Greenville. 1918 or 1919. Just has that one bruise. Kind of a fracture right there. So that's still one of the best bottles. And another Farmville
Princa Cola or whatever it's called. It's got some damage, but I think I can still get at least $20 out of it. Here's a nice Pepsi from Tarboro, triple script. Got some fractures in it and a big chip out of the top. And another Chiro Cola with the yellow tint. No city listing, but it does have the LBG, which makes it pretty rare. I've sold these for $40 before on eBay, and it's pretty near mint. Then I got one of these block print Pepsis. It's from Tarboro. And here's a 1915 that's sort of clear. It's almost in mint condition. It's from Greenville, just like all the other 1915s. But it has a big chip out of it. I have the piece and I'm gonna glue it back together. And when I do, it'll look really nice. And then another Chiro Cola. It's from Greenville. It's in mint condition other than some of the case wear. Then another Tarboro Pepsi with the weird word cola going downhill kind of, and up here as well. It does have a big crack right there, but still probably a $65 bottle. And yet another Woodard Brothers with several damage spots. Then another Chiro Cola, basically a clear one, no city listed. It's almost mint, just has a pinhead flake off the top. Then I got this Chiro Cola. It's slightly different the way the embossing is. It's also from Greenville, but it has a lot of cracks in it. And here's an Elizabeth City Princa Cola. This one's actually in mint condition. I got a Pepsi in the ugly block print. It's from Durham, which is not a very good city to have one from, but at least it's in near mint condition. And here's a soda. Looks like a beer though. It's from Pittsburgh. It's in mint condition. It's machine made. Then I got 3 more Tarboro triple script Pepsis, all with the tops broken off. It's a nice blue color though. At least this one is. Then we got another Take-A-Cola. This one is from Selma, North Carolina, which is where I live. This is my first Selma bottle. It has some chippage around the top, but other than that, it's not a bad one. Then I found a Kelford straight-sided type of bottle from the Coca-Cola company. I really don't want to see this because I've seen so many of these in the dump I dug a year ago. There's another Tarboro Pepsi. It's a very clean one, but of course the neck's broken off. Then I got a Greenville Pepsi. It's the shoulder script with the ring neck, but there is no neck. Still, I could saw it off around the top of that ring and replace the neck. And another Princa Cola. The bottom's broken out. And here is maybe the 4th one of these. Also damaged. Okay, now this is one of the best bottles for sure. It's from Greenville. It's the skinnier ring neck. It's machine made, but it is actually in mint condition. So that's probably at least $100. Here's another Greenville Pepsi. I had to glue that one back together. It's got a Route 20 on it. That's a 1920 date. Here's another Chiro Cola, but this one is unusual. It's purple. And it is from Greenville as well. This may very well be the only one known to exist from Greenville with the purple tint And the embossing is a little bit larger on this one. So sad that it doesn't have a top on it. And another Tarboro triple script Pepsi with no top. And another Chiro Cola from Greenville. This is one of the few perfect bottles. We got this Elizabeth City Princa Cola. It's in pretty good shape. Just has an inch long crack in the backside. And another Chiro Cola from Greenville. This one's pretty near mint. It just needs a little bit of tumbling. And here's one I've never seen before, but I found 3 of these. 2 of them are cracked up though. And another Greenville Chiro Cola. No damage to that one. And another Chiro Cola. Greenville as well. It's too bad because I really don't like the way these look. Why did all these ugly Chiro Colas have to be perfect and all the straight side Pepsis are cracked? And here's a Chiro Cola with the yellowish clear. No city listing. Has a crack in the base. And yet another Tarboro Pepsi. Severely cracked. And another Chiro Cola from Greenville. Here we got a Farmville. That's a pretty good town to have a bottle from. Let's have this crack in the side and the back. And a truly clear Chiro Cola. No city listed. And it has a crack in the back. Here's another one. This one has the slightly different older embossing. It's from Greenville also, but as you can see the NC is spread out. Got a lot of bruises on the base. Then a Cherry Blossoms from Greenville. It's got a couple problems with it. Pretty big crack right there. Then another Greenville Coca-Cola Bottling Works. Displays pretty well, but it does have a big crack back there. A couple of them. Here's a triple script Pepsi, and it's from Tarboro. It's a pretty nice bottle. It's got a couple bruises though. Another Chiro Cola. This one's from Greenville, South Carolina. Another Chiro Cola. No city listing. Cracked again. But it has the LBG on the bottom, which makes it a lot better than nothing. And another one of these. These are made in 3 different cities. This one's the Farmville. It's got a crack up here though. And another one. Also from Farmville. It's got a bruise right there and some case wear through the midsection. Here's a really interesting bottle. Never seen one. Sort of resembles a Hobble Skirt Coke. And this is one of the few bottles that came out in perfect condition. It's got the AGW for American Glass Works. And a very badly cracked Chiro Cola. But this one is from Kinston, which is a pretty rare one. And here's a very interesting 1915 Coke. One of the crudest I've ever seen. It's blown in a mold. And it has seed bubbles in it. And the bottom's very thick on one side and thin on the other. It's from Greenville, North Carolina. And that's a pretty rare one. The top collector of Greenville bottles wants this pretty bad. And another Greenville Chiro Cola. In perfect condition again. And the Pepsi from Greenville. The fatter ring neck variety, severely cracked. And another one of these Princa Colas from Farmville. It's got a few damaged spots. And here's my nearly perfect Greenville Coca-Cola, the flavored product bottle. Just has a small bruise on the base. So that one's going in my collection. And another nice blue colored 1915 that's blown in a mold. It's a Greenville. It's near mint. It just has one bruise on the edge right there. Not as crude as the other one. Here's the last one. I didn't wash this one yet. It's from Tarboro. So this was pretty close to a dream come true to dig this many. Well, there they are. A lot more than I thought I had. I estimated this at 40, but there's really 70 sodas here. Definitely would have been a dream come true if all of them were in mint condition. But still, I'll never forget this dig, because how many times has somebody found 70 embossed sodas from the late teens and early 20s? Well, I might eventually get $1,000 for all this stuff. $1,000 for one Privy, that's pretty good, even though it was a huge one. It was about 9 feet square and it was very hard clay. The layer was only about 9 or 10 inches. I was as careful as I could be to keep these from cracking, but something happened to them again. I have them down in my basement where no breeze can get on them, and it's very humid down here, so it keeps them damp. So they shouldn't be drying out and cracking, but for some reason they still are. Well, that's it for this time. See you later.